Welcome, Sigmas. Imagine waking up one day to find that the world no longer values independence, critical thinking, or the ability to carve your own path. Instead, every move, every decision, every thought is dictated by an unseen force, artificial intelligence. Sigmas, have you ever wondered what happens when machines start thinking for you? What happens when the very traits that make you unique, self-sufficiency, intellect, and mystery, are rendered obsolete by an algorithm? Picture this: a man who has built his life on autonomy, avoiding the system's grip, suddenly finds himself in a world where AI dominates everything. The job market is filled with emotionless bots. Social interactions are dictated by algorithms, and free thinkers are labeled as outdated relics. Sounds like a dystopian movie, right? But what if I told you this is not fiction? It's the future unfolding right before our eyes. Sigma males have spent their lives staying ahead of the curve, mastering adaptability and thriving in solitude. But now they face their biggest challenge yet, the rise of artificial intelligence. And the question remains, will Sigma survive, or will AI render them obsolete? As Carl Jung once said, a man who has not passed through the inferno of his passions has never overcome them. Sigmas, we are at an inferno. Will we burn or will we rise? Point 1. Why Sigma males are wired to fear AI. Let's get one thing straight: Sigmas don't fear change. They thrive in it. But AI isn't just another technological advancement. It's a complete restructuring of how society functions. The world is shifting toward automation, surveillance, and data-driven decisions, all of which challenge the very essence of what it means to be a Sigma: independent, self-sufficient, and free from external control. AI operates on predictability. It analyzes behavior, detects patterns, and optimizes efficiency. But here's where it struggles: Sigmas are anything but predictable. Unlike the masses who follow trends, seek validation, and fall into easy-to-read habits, a Sigma remains an enigma. He adapts without warning, moves without explanation, and operates on intuition rather than programmed logic. This unpredictability makes AI less of a threat to the Sigma male himself and more of a threat to a world that doesn't understand him. Let's break this down psychologically. AI thrives in environments where people are routine-driven and easily categorized. Social media algorithms, facial recognition, and behavioral tracking all function by learning from repetitive actions. But Sigmas defy this system by refusing to conform. They don't engage in predictable online behavior. They move in silence, and they rely on their intelligence rather than external validation. This makes them one of the few remaining wild cards in a society that's becoming increasingly controlled by artificial intelligence. From an economic standpoint, AI is replacing jobs and automating decision-making processes. The traditional worker who follows instructions and depends on external structure is at risk. But Sigmas, they have always been self-reliant. They seek knowledge, develop unique skill sets, and operate outside of traditional corporate hierarchies. Whether it's mastering a trade, creating passive income streams, or embracing remote, unconventional lifestyles, Sigmas remain ahead of the curve. They don't wait for opportunities, they create them. Yet the true danger of AI isn't in its intelligence. It's in its ability to shape society's expectations. As AI learns more about human psychology, it's influencing everything from hiring processes to dating algorithms. In the age of hyperconnectivity, where everything is tracked and analyzed, Sigmas remain ghosts in the machine, but untraceable. Think about it: dating apps are built on patterns. They predict attraction based on data, suggesting partners based on shared interests and social behaviors. But a Sigma, he doesn't fit the mold. He isn't swiping endlessly, seeking validation, or following superficial trends. This frustrates an AI-driven world because it can't market to him, can't control him, and certainly can't categorize him. In the end, AI isn't a direct threat to Sigmas. It's a threat to a world that depends on conformity. As technology advances, society will struggle to adapt to those who remain truly autonomous. And that's why the Sigma remains untouched. Because while AI can replicate intelligence, it can never replicate the essence of true independence. Point 2. The silent war between AI and individualism. Society thrives on control. From childhood, we're conditioned to obey the script: go to school, get a job, follow the rules, and fit in. This structure ensures order, but for those who see beyond it, it feels like a cage. Sigma males are the outliers, the ones who refuse to be molded by societal expectations. We don't just question the script, we tear it apart and write our own. And now, the most powerful tool of control isn't a government or a leader, it's artificial intelligence. AI decides what you watch, who you interact with, and even what you believe. Algorithms analyze your behavior, predict your desires, and feed you content that shapes your reality. Every book recommendation, every news article, every job opportunity is filtered through a system designed to reinforce a particular narrative. The result? A society where people don't think for themselves, they think what they're told to think. For most people, this isn't a problem. They go along with it, unaware they're being manipulated. But Sigmas, we see the strings being pulled. We recognize that convenience often comes at the cost of autonomy. The question is, how do you fight a system that's so deeply embedded in daily life? The first step is awareness. Sigmas don't just consume information, we analyze it. We question the source, the intent, and the patterns. Instead of blindly accepting what's presented, we look for alternative perspectives. We know that if an idea is being pushed aggressively, there's often a reason behind it. The second step is strategic disengagement. Unlike others who willingly surrender their data, Sigmas minimize their digital footprint. We understand that every click, every search, every interaction feeds the system. That's why we move differently, choosing privacy, using decentralized platforms, and limiting unnecessary exposure. The third step is self-reliance. AI thrives on dependency. The more people rely on it for recommendations, decisions, and even relationships, the less they trust their own instincts. Sigmas counter this by developing real-world skills, building networks outside the digital sphere, and making decisions based on logic rather than algorithmic persuasion. And finally, we embrace controlled unpredictability. AI is designed to predict behavior, but a Sigma male, we don't follow trends. We create them. We don't react emotionally. We respond intentionally. By refusing to be easily categorized, we make it harder for the system to control us. The world is shifting, and more than ever, society values conformity. But Sigmas, we remain untamed, unplugged, and unshaken. While the masses sleepwalk through a controlled existence, we navigate with open eyes, free minds, and an unbreakable. In a world run by algorithms, true independence is the ultimate rebellion. Point 3. The job market. AZ's a silent takeover. AI isn't just coming for blue-collar jobs, it's coming for everything. The industries once thought untouchable: law, medicine, software development are now in AI's crosshairs. Automation is replacing skill. Algorithms are making decisions once left to human intuition, and even creative fields are being infiltrated by machine-generated art, music, and writing. The workforce, as we know, it is being rewritten, and those who fail to adapt will be left behind for decades. Sigmas have thrived by being the masters of their craft, skilled, independent, and highly competent. But what happens when even the most specialized expertise can be replicated by a machine in seconds? When AI can diagnose diseases better than doctors, draft legal arguments with higher accuracy than lawyers, or write code faster than the most experienced programmers? The harsh truth is that raw skill alone is no longer. The difference between survival and obsolescence comes down to one thing: ingenuity. AI can process data, but it doesn't think in the way a Sigma does. It lacks true creativity, emotional depth, and the ability to connect seemingly unrelated ideas in groundbreaking ways. This is where the real battle begins. While most people panic, Sigmas evolve. In a world drowning in automation, the ones who thrive will be those who can do what AI can't. That means mastering not just technical skills, but critical thinking, strategic vision, and adaptability skills that no machine can replicate with true originality. History proves that technological revolutions don't eliminate human potential, they shift it. The printing press didn't kill writing. it expanded knowledge. The internet didn't destroy business. It created a new economy. AI will not replace Sigmas, it will challenge them to operate at a higher level. The winners will be those who leverage AI as a tool rather than fearing it as an enemy. So how do you stay ahead? First, by embracing multidimensional thinking, not just specializing in one skill, but learning how to integrate multiple disciplines. The future belongs to those who can blend technology, psychology, and strategy into something AI can't predict. Second, by cultivating emotional intelligence and leadership while machines analyze patterns, humans crave real connection. The ability to inspire, influence, and lead will become more valuable than ever. Finally, Sigmas must remember one core principle. The world rewards those who think it follows patterns. Sigmas break them. The system rewards those who conform. Sigmas rewrite the system. The masses fear change. Sigmas become the change. In the end, this isn't a battle of man versus machine. It's a test of who can adapt, who can outthink, and who can see the unseen opportunities in an AI-driven world. And if there's one thing Sigmas do better than anyone else, it's thriving in the unknown. Point 4. A and the death of true connection. The rise of artificial interactions and the Sigma's role social media has already become a digital playground of rehearsed conversations, filtered realities, and validation-seeking behavior. Every interaction feels curated, every post designed for maximum engagement rather than genuine expression. But with AI stepping in, it's not just getting worse, it's becoming indistinguishable from reality. Think about it. AI-driven chatbots can now mimic human emotions with alarming accuracy. Dating apps are experimenting with AI-generated profiles that simulate personality traits, making it harder to tell who's real and who's just a sophisticated algorithm. Even friendships are being shaped by recommendation engines that decide who you should interact with based on engagement patterns. The very essence of human connection is being manipulated, repackaged, and sold back to us in the form of digital illusion. And this is where Sigmas stand apart. The Sigma mindset in a synthetic world, unlike the masses who thrive on surface-level interactions. Sigmas crave depth, meaning, and raw authenticity. You don't just exist in the digital world, you navigate it with purpose, while others mindlessly scroll, consuming whatever content is fed to them. You remain conscious, questioning everything, refusing to let algorithms dictate your reality. But here's the real challenge. Keen when AI can replicate emotions, generate realistic conversations, and even provide companionship. What happens to human relationships? What happens when authenticity is no longer the default but a rarity? This is where the Sigma's value skyrockets. The last bastion of authenticity, Sigmas have always been the outliers, the ones who don't follow trends, don't seek approval, and don't conform to societal expectations. And in a world drowning in artificiality, you are the last bastion of what's real. Your ability to remain self-sufficient, emotionally aware, and unaffected by digital illusions makes you more valuable than ever. While others fall for AI-generated personalities, you sharpen your intuition. While the world becomes more robotic, you double down on raw human connection. Psychologists call this authenticity bias, the subconscious ability to detect sincerity in human interactions. Studies show that people are naturally drawn to those who exhibit realness over polished perfection. And in a future where AI can mimic almost everything, the rarest and most desirable trait will be genuine human presence. Staying ahead of the curve, the solution isn't to reject technology, it's to master it. Be aware of AI's influence, but don't let it define your interactions. Cultivate skills that machines can't replicate: deep conversations, critical thinking, emotional intelligence. Avoid becoming another programmed response in a world while society drifts further into artificial relationships. Sigmas will stand as a reminder of what it means to be real. And in the end, authenticity will always have the highest value, because no algorithm can replicate the soul of a Sigma. Point 5. How Sigmas can outsmart AI. Artificial intelligence is evolving at an unprecedented pace, automating jobs, analyzing data, and even mimicking human behavior. But no matter how powerful AI becomes, it has limitations. It lacks the depth of human experience, the unpredictability of free thought, and the raw individuality that defines Sigma males. Unlike the masses who conform to trends and rely on external validation, Sigmas thrive in uncertainty. They are independent thinkers, self-sufficient problem solvers, and masters of adaptation. If they want to stay ahead in an AI-driven world, they must embrace their unique strengths and leverage technology to their advantage. Master the skills AI can't replicate. While AI can process vast amounts of data, it cannot replace creativity, leadership, emotional intelligence, and adaptability, all traits Sigmas naturally possess. Creative problem-solving, critical thinking, and the ability to navigate complex human emotions will become the most valuable assets in a world dominated by automation, you say, to your advantage. Instead of resisting AI, a Sigma learns to harness it by automating mundane tasks, emails, scheduling, data analysis. He frees up time for what truly matters: personal growth, skill development, and strategic thinking. AI is not the enemy. It is a tool, and those who use it wisely will always remain ahead of the curve, remain untraceable. AI thrives on patterns and predictability. Sigmas by nature are unpredictable. They do not follow societal scripts, nor do they operate within predefined frameworks. They keep their movements calculated and their personal information minimal, making them difficult to track or replace. In a world where data is currency, staying untraceable is the ultimate power move. Sigmas have survived countless societal shifts, industrial revolutions, technological advancements, economic collapses. The rise of AI is just another evolution, and as history has proven, it is not the strongest that survive, but the most adaptable. Those who embrace change, who sharpen their minds and strengthen their independence, will not only survive, but thrive. AI may be powerful, but it will never replace the human soul, the untamed spirit, or the unwavering self-reliance of a Sigma. This is not a crisis. It is an opportunity. And as always, Sigmas will emerge victorious. Sigmas, the rise of AI, is not the end. It is a challenge, one that we are built to adapt, outthink, and rise above the machines. The world may be shifting, but our power remains untouchable. If you found value in this, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and join our community of thinkers, rebels, and lone wolves. Stay sharp, stay unpredictable, and stay Sigma.